Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori for everyone who is new. So today we are gonna do my everyday makeup routine. It's more of an updated routine, but this is what my everyday makeup looks like nowadays. But I hope you guys enjoy this video and let's get going. So the eyeshadow palette I like to use pretty much almost every day for like a easy neutral look is this palette by Morphe 35XO palette, and I like to go in with this light brown shade right here. I don't remember the name. It's kind of rubbed off, so I use this palette a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a fluffy eyeshadow brush just like this one, and we're gonna put this on the outer corner and into our crease, and we're just going to blend it out. We're gonna use windshield wiper motions when we get to our crease and just blend as we go. When we're at the outer corner, we're just using dabbing motions and then just blend. So for the next color, we're gonna go into this one called Let's Snuggle. It is this darker brown, and we are using a flat dense a fluffy dense brush, and we're just gonna mainly put this on our outer corner of the eye. Tap off the excess. Our fingers is gonna be at the middle of the brush, so we're not having too much pressure on there. And we're just gonna mainly dab this onto our eye and also bring it onto our lid just halfway. Just stop right there. Go ahead and take this darker eyeshadow, this darker brown, and it's called Charmer. And we're gonna put this on our outer corner. We are mainly gonna focus this eyeshadow on our outer corner, and we're using more of a dense brush, just like this one. We're gonna have our fingers like almost towards the beginning to the end of our brush. And we're just gonna dab. Now we're going to take this white eyeshadow. As you guys can see, it has hit pan, and I'm not sure if I can get this eyeshadow palette anymore, but we're going to put that on our inner corner of our lid, just where we didn't put any eyeshadow. And we're using a flat eyeshadow brush just like this one, and we're just going to pack that on. And we're going to do a fake cut crease, which is pretty much just go up towards where the eyeshadow starts, and then we go into the other color. We drag the eyeshadow into the other eyeshadows, just like that. Okay, so you know how it looks like this? We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go in with this brown again, and we're gonna blend it together with the white, just so we can marry those colors together, just like so. And then we're gonna go back in with that darker brown as well, just to add it back. This may look like it's hard, but honestly it really isn't hard at all. It just takes lots of practice and lots of patience to be able to learn how to do, like, to make a very nice eyelash. You can use whatever product, high-end, low-end, high-end or drugstore products. You can make a nice look with either one. All the makeup works the same, honestly. And then that white eyeshadow that we just put on our inner corner, we are just gonna go ahead and use this as our brow bone highlight and to help blend everything together up top. Sometimes I like to go in with my eyelashes next, or sometimes I like to do those last. But today I want to go in with my eyelashes. This primer by e.l.f. is one of my favorite primers. I definitely do want to try other high-end primers. I've tried Milk before, and this is definitely a dupe for Milk. And I love the Milk primer, but you know, it's a little too expensive to be repurchasing that all the time. So that is definitely a perfect dupe. I love this primer because it's really sticky and it helps make your makeup stay on all day, and you just really need to dab this on into your skin and not rub it. So just dab this on, get this all over your face, and it gives you kind of a plump face, as plump skin as well. So I just love how sticky it is. I'll show you guys. That's how sticky it is. It can hold that. That's crazy. But the primer is definitely my favorite primer. And then when I like to go in with my setting spray just to set it and make it hold even longer. This is the Milani Make It Last setting spray, one of my favorite drugstore setting sprays ever. I just love it. So this Milk foundation is my favorite foundation. Besides the Maybelline Skin Tint foundation, I love this foundation because it is definitely full coverage. You don't need a lot. I just put a little bit on, and also you honestly probably don't really need a primer to put this on, because I was told that there was primer in this already. But you know, I like to put extra primer on just so it can stay. And then I like to go in with a kabuki brush and just blend everything all together. I just love how full coverage this foundation is, and it does not feel cakey or heavy on my skin, and it just looks like my skin basically. Now I know that costs a good penny, a pretty penny, but I might have to break my bank again to purchase that, because that's just how much I love that foundation. Okay, so I like to go in with my sponge and just go over and blend it again, just to make sure everything is blended seamlessly. I probably added just a tad bit too much, but I like to just put a little bit of concealer on the inner part of my eye, on the inner corner of my eye, and on the outer part, and I like to let this dry for a little bit. And I also put it on my chin and the forehead, and I do put some on top of my mustache area. Okay, so I like to let that sit, and then I like to go in with my cream contour. This is by Juvia's Place in the shade Honey. There you go. And I like to use a brush just like this one I got off of Shein, and it helps me get right into my cheekbone areas. And we're just gonna cream contour my face, and of course my battery is dying. I hate when that happens. And we are gonna do the forehead. My forehead is big, so yeah. It's more of a 5 head to me. I know I need to be a little nicer to myself, but that's just how I feel about my forehead sometimes. Don't like going down too far. Sometimes I do on accident, but I like to keep my bronzer and cream contour just right here, just so my face can get that lifted effect. And we're also gonna do my nose. Use a dome brush like this. Don't worry, I will blend it out. I know it looks a little rough. Start here. Yes, I'm using the viewfinder as a mirror right now. Probably a bad idea, but what can you do? There we go. Actually, no, that came out really good. And then I like to put some right here. I know I look a little crazy, but give me 1 second and let me change my battery and I'll be back to blend this out with you guys. I'm back, guys. So I like to go ahead and go in with my sponge and blend this out. Now I like to go in with my bronzer. This is by Juvia's Place as well in the shade medium, and we're gonna set our cream contour. And we're just using a fluffy brush just like this one. Then I like to go in with my blush. This is one of my favorite cream blushes, or I should say liquid blushes. It's the Juvia's Place blush in Pink Lady. And I'm just putting a little bit because it is very pigmented. So please, please, please be careful because you look sunburned. And I'm just using a kabuki brush and just blend that out. I don't really like going near my cheekbones anymore with my blush just because I want that lifted effect on my face. So we are just keeping the blush placement right over here. I like to add some to my nose. Now, if I was going for more of a doll effect kind of look, I would definitely put my blush right over here on the cheekbones, but we're not going for that today. This is my everyday makeup routine, and this is what I do every day. So I'm taking a brush just like this one, and we're gonna go ahead and start blending out that concealer. The reason for me to let this sit on my face for a little bit, when I let it dry for a little bit, it definitely gives more of a full coverage. I do say that this is a full coverage concealer, really. It is. But I like that more, I like that extra coverage. Just because I really hate my dark circles. And I just want them gone. And I like to bring my concealer down here just a little bit to help blend out that blush a little bit more. Then I like to go in with my sponge and just blend everything out even more, just so everything is nice and flawless. Go over with my sponge over on my blush as well. Then I like to go in with a powdered blush and set that cream or liquid blush. This is the Juvia's Place blush. I believe this is Pink Lady as well. And we're just gonna place it right where our cream blush was, or is. And we're just gonna go. Then add some to my little nose, just a tad bit. So for setting powder, I like to go in with the Morphe Jumbo Bake setting powder. I love this setting powder. Hold on, you guys. I love this. Hold on. Hold the phone. Okay. I love the setting powder because it does not feel heavy on the underneath my eyes. It does not crack or anything like that. And it does not make my under eyes look all dry and cracked either. So I like to go ahead and put my setting powder towards my nose, like where we did the contour, just so we can carve out the contour a bit more. And then set my concealer. Also make sure your concealer is blended out before you set your under eyes because you don't want any creases. And then I like to bring it towards my blush a little, or over my blush if I put a little too much. But we're not doing that today. I just love how fine this powder is. It's not so thick and heavy. And I also like to go under here and carve out my cheekbones even more. Now I do not let this stay on for too long because I don't like baking anymore. So we're just gonna carefully wipe this off with a fluffy brush. Jesus, I can't talk today. I mean, if you like letting your powder bake, then that's up to you, but I don't like doing that anymore. Not for too long at least. But I usually just wipe it away right away after I set everything. I don't see the need for that. I remember when I would bake the crap out of my face and my skin would be too cakey and gross, and I used to think I liked that, but I don't like that anymore. So what I like to do for my last step is take my Milani setting spray again and then set all over. Okay, so this just helps melt the makeup all together and also help it stay on longer even. Help it stay on even longer than it needs. The setting spray just helps it melt everything together and also stay in place. That's what I wanted to say. And then I like to just dry my face. Take a little fan and let it dry. Can I not talk today? So for an everyday lip, I like to take the Milani Line Lifter. And in the Milani? What? No, this is Maybelline. So I like to take the Maybelline Lifter Liner, and this is in the color Line Leader. It is a perfect pink nude, and we're just gonna line our lips. Ta-da. And this is a perfect pink nude, and I love this lip liner because it helps it glides on very nice. You gotta remember to put the top on, because if you don't, it will dry out. So for lips today, I am taking this Juvia's Place lipstick in this color called A Mauve Moment. I love this color, it's so pretty. And I love how creamy this lipstick is. So this is the finished look, and I am all finished with my hair as well. And all I did with the lash line is I put Charmer and Snuggle underneath, and I just smudged them together. I like to smoke it out on the lower lash line a lot, so that's one of my favorite things to do to make it more dramatic, just because I like my eyes dramatic. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you like to see more of this, let me know in the comments and I'll definitely do so. And subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you guys in my next one. Bye!